Yeah, I'm definitely not going to try to top Miss Golden. Very well done. And as she alluded to, on behalf of everybody at ACES, we do wish you guys happy holidays and as we come up to the new year. So again, we appreciate everything that you do for us from that perspective. So tonight I just really want to send another thank you out to, as you know, the holiday shop. That's part of the reasons why we're over here. They've done a phenomenal job. It's just really been an outstanding week associated with everything that's been going on over there. If you've never seen it in person, it's like Santa's workshop. I mean, it's definitely a great positive vibe, positive energy that we have. And really, for the record, I would say all 6 members of the Moran household were very thrilled with the gifts that our daughter Summer purchased for us. And I personally was excited to receive the face and body handheld massager that will get plenty of use. So 2 additional areas to highlight tonight are really a focus a little bit about decodable readers and intervention work going on in their building. And I have brought a decodable reader with me. Our kindergarten teachers have been participating in the Enhanced Reading Core Instruction program here this year. We've spoken about that at previous board meetings. Really, that's a focus on enhancing reading instruction and providing deliberate practice opportunities for our students, and really assuring an alignment between our Tier 1 instruction, is where our focus right now, and then as we move to our Tier 2 interventions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this around, and Ms. Duranch has made sure that I will get this returned in one piece, no markings, no anything. So again, just as I hand that around, be very careful, or I will have to answer to Ms. Duranch tomorrow, and I'll get that back as we come around to the floor. So let me talk a little bit about decodables. So a component of our training this year is, that's a kindergarten decodable book that we have recently purchased that's been part of our program. You're wondering to yourself, what may a decodable look like? There it is, but here's some specifics about it. It's phonics-based decodable readers that provide practice with students, specifically with letter sound patterns in relation to students and their learning. It's really a focus of controlled vocabulary. The words in the book are specifically chosen because they're predictable and can be sounded out by the reader based on what they've already been taught. So again, this is a focus for our beginning readers, and this is also a focus for students who struggle with reading. The practice tool, that primary purpose is to give new readers a chance to practice their decoding skills in a meaningful way through the context, the building of confidence, and fluency with that. Obviously, our support and focus is on comprehension. So as we continue, the book does have illustrations that are present in the book, the decodable, but really they're intended to sort of aid the comprehension and engagement. It's not to be used as sort of what we would call a crutch to decoding words. So again, we're really not wanting the students to try to make that meaning out of the pictures. We wanted to use it more as a resource, and that's sort of the research behind that. And then obviously the progression of students, these texts start with very basic skills and gradually introduce more complex ones as that reader masters and moves on with each skill. In the back of the book, what you'll notice is there's a weekly schedule that teachers are to follow. It sort of outlines what teachers and students will follow connected to decodable words and skills and the high frequency words that are taught to students up to date, and then it connects to the different units that have led up. For example, that's Unit 5 that's listed there with that particular book. So again, an area that we're focusing on. It gives you a chance to see what is our students having in their hands, and again, part of the need and some of the changes that we're making to help support our students with reading at the elementary level. The second thing here was just really talking a little bit about some intervention work. So I'm going to specifically talk about math and special ed. So our special ed students are grouped primarily by their reading levels. There's sort of an accounting of their phonics knowledge. So again, connecting back to some of our ELA work. Teachers look at various assessment scores to help determine the reading level and further deal on the reading challenges such as decoding and comprehension. again, a little bit of what I said previously. An example of an assessment used by our special ed department is sort of a core phonics assessment. Looks specifically at a student's phonics skills using letters and sounds. Remember, special ed students all have an IEP and specific goals that are centered for those students, which they are working on. We progress monitor those students based on those goals that are created in the IEP, and the instruction is based on the needs of the students, again, connected back to the various assessments that we do with them. And then we make sure there's strong collaboration and communication between the special ed department and our core grade level teachers. So again, we make sure our communication, we make sure our discussions are hitting home with that information. Math is an area that I'll talk about. Our focus really is in grades 1 through 4. Our kindergarten team, that they're not focused on math, but there is some additional things that we're working on with them specifically, as I just outlined. But with math, we started the school year, sort of our math team consisting of teachers, interventionists, building coaches, and administration. We reviewed the data from the previous school year and determined students who would receive interventions this year. That data back from the 24-25 school year, and then we looked at, when we did our iReady assessment here at the beginning of the school year, sort of that lowest 25 percentile based on how they performed. And that helped us bring them into the screening process to identify their eligibility for intervention and help. We then made our groups based on this information, connected to students' needs. Again, throughout the school year up to this date, here at the midpoint, teachers have been providing instruction and collecting data on the targeted skills in the classroom. And then that information gets shared with our interventionist, Ms. Myers, and our math building coach, Ms. Bennett. And then they're working together to strategically plan additional interventions, what was working, what wasn't working, and then obviously designing something that may be different or continuation of what's in place as we go to the second half of the school year. We are excited to see the results in this upcoming mid-year iReady diagnostic. That'll be our second one. It'll give us a chance to see if there's been growth by our students based on what we've been doing with them. And then again, will help us target, specifically with the students we've targeted, whether or not those interventions and those strategies are working or not. So we're excited to see the results of that, and that really will shape our planning as we head into the second half of the school year. So at that concludes my report with an update of some of the things going on at ACES. Any questions?
Any questions?
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
You spoke about the mid-year iReady results. When about will we have any idea when we'll be seeing that?
Well, the students haven't taken that assessment yet, so that usually will take place somewhere in the middle of January to the back end of January, so in those last 2 or 3 weeks of January. So I don't have the specific dates memorized right in front of me. So all students will participate with that assessment in ELA and in reading. Again, that goes over a couple-day window. And then the nice thing is those results will come back instantly to us, and then we'll start to debrief those. Sort of that compare and contrast of where students have grown, where they haven't. So again, what's working, what's not. And then again, that shapes their discussions of what we need to do as we head into the second half of the year. Not only for our targeted students, but our students as a whole.
So we'll be knowing probably by February?
Yeah, there'll be updated information as we go into January, February, March, April, May. We'll continue to update that information. Yeah, that's a part of our process.
Great. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, guys.
We now recognize members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium and state your name, confirm you are a resident and taxpayer in the district, and your topic of discussion for the record. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole, not to an individual. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or a recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. Suzanne Johnson.
My name is Suzanne Johnson, and as a district parent and taxpayer, it was embarrassing and infuriating to observe the board's continued unprofessional and counterproductive behavior last week. All the bickering took the focus away from things that should have been discussed, including concerns I specifically requested addressed for the benefit of all taxpayers. Having failed to do so, I will again ask that the administration and board address these concerns tonight. When the 24-25 budget was approved in June 2024, per usual, there was an estimated deficit and tax increase. We're now seeing an actual surplus of more than $1.5 million instead of that deficit. So Tom, as business manager, please address concerns about your budget process where there's consistently a deficit and a tax increase when planning the budget that surprisingly turns into a surplus after the end of year audit. Why don't you plan a balanced budget like other government entities, such as the Littlestown Council? And please explain what final adjustments would have come in after June 30th to change an estimated deficit to a surplus for last year's budget. I'm happy to see the suggestion of $600,000 from the unneeded transportation reserve be allocated for the Actie land purchase. So Steve, as finance chair, please address concerns that you promised taxpayers $180,000 from the 24-25 tax increase would be allocated for Actie, but if you add that to the $600,000 from the transportation reserve, shouldn't the total Actie fund balance be at least $780,000 instead of $700,000 as of June 30th, 2025? Otherwise, you aren't really following through with the promises you made to the taxpayers. Further, Nick, as president, please address concerns that you're suggesting $475,000 from the completed land sale and an upcoming $275,000 land sale go towards the athletics field project already in the design phase. However, the district already told taxpayers that those land sales will be used to offset the 2023 purchase of fields being used for the LHS agriculture programs. So again, it seems you aren't following through with previous promises to the taxpayers. In addition to that $750,000 going to baseball and softball fields, the Finance Committee was okay with another $750,000 being assigned to further expensive athletic projects such as the track. So Jeannie, as treasurer, please address the concern that you're prioritizing expensive facility and athletic projects over things such as special education funding. For the 25-26 budget, we didn't even have enough to cover the autism classroom, which doesn't demonstrate fiscal responsibility. Instead of putting another $750,000 aside for athletics, what about a special education assigned fund for the autism classroom and other increasing special education needs the district has seen? Otherwise, the district's going to argue we'll need another tax increase to cover operating expenses for the 26-27 budget. As I keep saying, there needs to be more consideration on the impact of taxes, and some hard decisions need to be made about spending priorities. It's not fiscally responsible to continue to pass budgets with large deficits and approve expensive new spending initiatives and simply hope for surpluses. In addition to these financial matters, last week I encouraged each of you to honestly reflect on your own behavior before pointing fingers at others as you continue to lack awareness of your own bias and hypocrisy. I will continue to pray as we head into a new calendar year that each of you will take a serious personal inventory and improve your own behavior to better serve the students, employees, and the community. Further, I specifically request that acting superintendent and board leadership address the reprehensible behaviors they failed to address last week. Janelle's lack of boundaries and messing with another person's personal property, be it her attempts to justify that unacceptable behavior, and her defamatory accusations against Mr. Sullivan sounded so delusional that I'm quite concerned about the safety of those she targets, including Dwayne and myself. We must all be concerned if an individual demonstrates an inability to judge right from wrong and reality from fantasy. It is beyond time for something to be done to address Janelle's disturbing behavior. But to end on a different note completely, I want to, as the holiday season comes upon us, show our appreciation for our amazing community and their support of caring and sharing for our district families in need. I'm also happy to see the support of the FFA's Fruit and Poinsettia sale and our cheerleading's upcoming Christmas Magic fundraiser on December 19th. Further, I know we'll all be cheering on Littlestown native Aubrey Nicole in the Voice Finals tonight. And as a final reminder for 10th graders, Actie applications for next year are due this Friday. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and wonderful winter break. Thank you.
Anyways, expired.
Just to clarify, I'm not the treasurer.
We're not, this is not an agenda item. Can we stick to agenda items, please?
Clarifying, I'm not the treasurer.
Well, if the board's permitted to respond, there will be no further interruption from the audience.
I just want to clarify, I'm not the treasurer.
Just want to clarify, I don't speak mandatory comments. Sorry, anybody.
Mrs. Becker from the Thunderbolt Foundation.
I'm ready.
Okay. So, it's been a few months since I have been here. We've been busy with things that we're doing everywhere. Just got done providing 144 pairs of shoes for the Caring and Sharing program. So that went to 54 different families in our community. So every year, for those of you that aren't aware of what we do, we provide either a pair of snow boots or sneakers to every child that is on the Caring and Sharing list. So this year it was 144 pairs, so we're grateful and happy to be able to do that for the community and for our children, because at the forefront, that's why we're here. We're here for the kids, we're here to help them, provide for them, and that's all of our job.
I think
Number
that
one.
deserves a round of applause.
Yes. It's the whole board, it's not just me, trust me, it's the entire board, because Thunderbolt Foundation Board truly supports every child in this district and this community, and that's why they're there. They're there for all the right reasons. And, you know, I'm fortunate that I am able to work with such a board and have the support and everything that we do. You know, from helping the administrators, working closely with all of them. It's a partnership, it's a team effort, and that is key. So I know we're at a very crucial time. I can't give you giving, by the way, giving spree, I know it's on the top of your mind, I won't know till Friday. So we'll give that in January, talk about that. But I know this is a really crucial time because we are in a search for a superintendent. And we all know how important that is for the community, for our school district, for our children, and for the board to have that working relationship with a superintendent and how important it is. So knowing how things go now when people are in the job market and they're looking for positions, it is key that they are able to see what we provide to them as a means for wanting them to be able to want to come here and be part of a great community. So I thought I could share with you what we are doing as a foundation, how we are helping to provide that for this community so that somebody that is searching for a job and searching to look to come here, what they can see from us to make us a viable place to want to come. So first off, a strong foundation, Thunderbolt Foundation, aligned to a school board, shows partnership and not conflict. So that partnership is key in showing them that we work together to support the kids. That one-on-one commitment. A strong foundation shows a supportive community and a culture that values education. So we are very supported by our community. They know who we are. They give to us because of what we bring to you. And that's important for a candidate to be able to see, that we have the support of our community, that they stand behind us, whether it be the companies that support us through the signs in the stadium or the individuals that contribute to us or come to us, how can we help, through the scholarships that different people come. We are helping to provide funding to support initiatives that go beyond your budget. So superintendent coming in is going to be able to see that, okay, budget only goes so far. we have an outlet now. We have somebody that is going to be there to support us and to be able to help us. So we do that with all that we are. We can provide funding for innovative programs like our STEM programs, our art and music, scholarships, teacher and student grants, all of those things. And they can see that and know that we are there to help and support that. We provide opportunities for our alumni to come back and to be able to be part of this community again. Because a lot of times when the alumni leave, they're gone. A foundation helps to draw them back for what they provide. We play a crucial role in complementing public funding, enhancing educational quality, and fostering strong community school partnerships. So we are that connection. We help connect back to you. And that is very key and important. We provide positive social media posts. If you go onto our Facebook page, you're going to see that it is filled with all the things that we do to promote the positive aspects of our school district. You're not going to find anything negative. It's all going to be positive, because that's what a candidate is going to be looking for. We also have a lot of positive articles that appear in our local newspapers and magazines. I feel we're doing our part. I feel that we are working hard to support the students in this community and to support the educational future of this district. So I challenge you, how are you going to be doing that also? How can we show candidates that want to come to our district, whether they be a superintendent or a future teacher, that we are a good district? And sometimes that means putting aside our differences and focusing on all the positive that we have. So that's my challenge to you today. We have a new year starting up in January. We can always start fresh in a new year. And I said this at the beginning of the school year. Let's start with a positive fresh. I'm going to challenge again, and I will keep challenging you. Let's make this positive. Let's make people see who Littlestown is and all that together we can bring. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're not going to stop. My board is very driven, and we have a lot of things that are going to be coming in a very positive way in the future to support our #1 priority, our children in this district. So thank you for your continued support of all that we do. We couldn't do it without the support of the school board. And I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. And I'm looking forward to a positive, fresh start come January. Do you have any questions?
So you were going to do the Dolly Parton thing all through Adams County. What's happening
It
with that?
is. Oh, thanks for asking about that. I'm so excited. We are almost at 1,000 children in Adams County. It has just gone out to Adams County in September. So September is when we turned over the reins to the Adams County library system. And since that time, I'm still working with them. I'm helping them secure the funding and through the support of Thunderbolt Foundation. So we are at almost 1,000 children that have registered that live within all of Adams County since September, and that is about 1/5.
Is that in addition to our students?
That includes our students. Yeah, we still have kids from Littlestown that are still putting in for that, but the numbers that the Dolly Parton Foundation projects and where we are at, we're far ahead of where they're projecting that we should be, because we have 1/5 of the children in Adams County that are doing that. My goal is all of them.
I'm not sure if everybody knows that you not only lead the Littlestown Foundation, but you also are heavily involved with the whole county foundation. And you were a big proponent and organizer of the Giving Spree, am I right?
Yeah, I wear a lot of hats.
Yep.
I wear a lot of different hats, but I'm able to keep all my hats separate. And working with the Adams County Community Foundation allows me to help everybody in the county. You know, I'm born, raised Gettysburg, you know, heart now is in Littlestown with, I'm a Bolt, and this county is important. You know, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of business people through all of my connections, and I'm fortunate that all the people that I connect with in this county, one of their top priority are children. You know, that is one of the things that I have really learned. If it's about a child, people step up and people come forward and they want to help and they want the best. And Dolly Parton is a perfect example of that, because the support that we were able to get for this to be a county program was amazing. And the businesses and individuals that have stepped forward. It's nice to see something that a whole community, a whole county can come together on, and that's what this does. The Imagination Library brings the whole community, and that's what I really love about it. And, you know, because this is a great county. You know, we may have our rivals when it comes to athletics, but down and out, we are all the same county, and we have a lot to be proud of in Adams County. So thank you for asking that question. So I'm excited. Maybe I'll let you know when we get to all of them. It might take a little longer, but anything else?
Any other questions?
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you.
Beckman. We will now move on to the action items for tonight. Can I have a motion to approve the November 17th regular board meeting minutes?
So moved, Mary Brenda.
Motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second, Steve.
Any discussion?
Just for the record, I would like to thank Ms. Mummer for putting in a couple statements that I asked her to put in that meeting minutes, two of which were under discussion and action of board minutes. I want to thank her for doing that. I noticed that she did, and she deserves accolades when I see it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Mummer.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the November 25th finance, property, and supply minutes?
So moved, Mary Brenda.
Is there a second?
Steve, your second.
Any discussion?
Yes. On those minutes, under other business, there's a comment in regards to Ms. Johnson being out of the recording area with her device. I would like us to stricken that from the minutes, and I'll tell you why. The meeting was held in the library. This particular meeting was held in the library of this school. As such, why did the rotate area not include any area for seating, as it always has in standard practice and long-standing past precedent? Why did the minutes reflect that Ms. Johnson was reported outside the recording area when the recording area failed to include any seating whatsoever without prior public notice? We can't document in the minutes with intended implications that a parent, taxpayer, or resident has reported outside the designated stated area when the seated area changed without public notice or discussion by the board itself or any change in policy by the board. This should be removed from the minutes, as Ms. Johnson had permission from President to record.
She was given approval after the meeting. We did expand the area, designated area, but I don't think that your questions are relevant in the fact that the minutes are a record of what happened, and Mr. Yerger asked the question, and Ms. Johnson gave a response. So this is an indication of the question that was asked and the response. We don't put in the minutes my conversation with Ms. Johnson afterwards.
Sure.
We don't put in the minutes the details of all of that sort of thing. There was no action taken against Ms. Johnson for the violation, which ended up not being a violation.
So could we possibly put that in the minutes? Could we consider putting that in the minutes? That it was not a violation because of the situation that it was in a new location, not necessarily the boardroom or even in the library, that the location didn't have a seating that in there, that's fine. Mr. Yurter's statement in there, that's fine. But I think it should be clarified then